Welcome to International Season 6 F1 Round 17 at Baku International Racing League. We are joined for the F1 race at Baku. My co-commentator will be here very shortly. He is just unavailable right now. But while we wait for him, we will be discussing the driver's standings. As I go up to him right now. In first place is Matthew Alder, still with 265 points, still leading this championship. Second though is Louis Welch, 222. Drawbridge in third with 129. Mark Espy, who retired, in fourth, 112 points. Brandon in fifth with 99 points still. With Cameron Young in sixth with 84 points, getting good form in the Haas team. Sondre dropped to seventh with 74 points, beating Cano in eighth, who's got 73 points. Diego is in 9th with 65 points, and Sterling West in 10th with 60 points. So that is your top 10 for your drivers. In the constructors, Renault still lead by 9 points, 340 to their name. Alfa Romeo in second with 331. Haas with 196 in third. Red Bull in fourth with 162 points, trying to catch up with the Haas team. Mercedes also in fourth with 124 points. Williams is in sixth with 94 points, possibly challenging the Mercedes team. Racing Point with 73 points. McLaren 66 points. Ferrari jumped Toro Rosso with 46 points, so Ferrari no longer at the bottom of the grid. And Toro Rosso with 45 points, last in the constructors.
I'm back.
And there is my co-commentator. He has returned. So. There was next aspects.
Oh, so streaming up.
Right, we should be going underway soon. So. Well then, I wonder how the weather's going to be around at Baku. The races are going to be very close. It is a street circuit, of course, and if it's any rain, Brandon said he may be able to do well around here. So as we are loading in right now, just making the stream. It's got good quality as it hasn't come from my phone for some reason. Yep, stream is good and golden, so we shouldn't have any issue.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting if there is rain or not. Obviously, if there is, like, this track has a tendency to have crashes. Obviously, the castle section being the main one. And if there's a bit of rain, then, I mean, could we even see a safety car if someone goes off in a specific way? I mean, obviously, the safety car is a bit inconsistent, but with the amount of crashes that could happen, with a bit of added rain as well, potentially, could be a thing to think about.
Yeah, well, you are correct there. There could be a possibility of rain. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that in quali, as it is cloudy right now, as we've got 16 drivers. We did have 17, but Ollie has decided to leave the lobby for personal reasons, which won't go in streaming at some point. All the admins know why, so we're going to get involved with qualifying, as Lee Kelly's got his brand new teammate, Begat Venom, who will be his teammate from now on in the McLaren, who got promoted from F2 to F1 after he showed some promising pace at Spa.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly showed that he's meant to be here. I mean, if you look at the qualies, if he was in F1, he would be doing pretty well, so could be someone who's up there amongst the top and could cause a little bit of issues for the top two as well.
Alright, never know, Venom could win this race. with Matthew not feeling as confident as he has been around certain circuits. This isn't the best circuit for Wheel. He has apparently possibly gone to pad today. He said he would have stayed on Wheel if Louis may have turned up. They didn't turn up, but Louis has turned up to ruin his chances, and Louis is coming out right now as we speak. However, though, Lee Kelly is the first one coming up to start his qualifying lap. The top 4 prediction will be Matthew Alder first, Louis second, Sterling possibly 3rd place, and Cameron 4th. What do you think there, Cameron, your top 4 prediction?
I'm gonna put Louis on pole. I'm gonna put I'll put Rafa second, Matthew third, and Venom fourth.
Okay then, so that is Kevin's top 4 prediction. As Lee Kelly is about to start his qualifying lap, he's approaching turn 1. Gets a nice exit there from Lee Kelly. He's now going to approach turn 2 now. Got to get a nice tidy exit quickly on the power, straight away on the DRS, and this is a big straight here where you've got to just push the car to its limits, brake as late as possible to get the quickest sector time. Nice tidy through that corner there in turn 5. Sorry, turn 3, now coming into turn 4. This is now approaching turn 5, end of sector 1, which is 34.6, which is in sector 1, less left soft compound of tyre. Turn 5 and 6 now, he's approaching turn 7, as we did see last season in F1. Brand famously crashed in Castle, and a lot of victims with him, and Sondre did get a 3rd place as Lee avoids the walls through Castle. Nicely tidy that lap there from the youngster. As he's now in the 1 minute mark, he's about to end sector 2 to start sector 3. Let's see what time he will set in sector 2. He does a 1:13.9 in sector 2. As now he's coming through the final few corners. Longest straight. Turn 18 and 19. He's just gone through a little kink of turn 20. As now he's approaching down the main big straight where DRS is out, where you can hit your top speed of the car. Coming up to the line, what time is it going to be? And it's going to be a 1:37.7 instead of soft tyres. I believe Lewis Curtis was
Sterling also next across the line. There's a 37.8 very close between them two.
Still a good lap from him as Rafa just beats that 37.1, so a few tenths faster there. What about Matthew Alder now? He's approaching the final section of the track.
LeBrun is also
looks like 37.6.
Oh, and Brun's out. He's in the pit lane.
Brun and Bolt again into the pits.
Yeah, entering the pit lane, he just locked up and just kind of went straight into the wall. Just took it a bit too quick.
Well, Rafa's time may be provisional pole, but Matthew setting in valid lap, and Jay's just beaten both of their times. A 36.9, the first person to set 36. Would we see Jay today looking for a win? No, Louis just does a 36.6 on his time. So there we go, as now we're going to go on board with Nino Romanello. And the only person who is on a lap right now is actually Sondre. Sondre's about to finish.
Yeah, I checked, he's invalidated, he's going to be coming to pits. Yeah, into the pits.
Yep, you're alright, he does peel into the pits.
It looks like he's sped in the pits actually.
Although Lewis Curtis may be on another lap. Well, he may be actually saving his DRS actually to come on. So we'll go stay on board with Lewis Curtis. Only 12 minutes or 18 seconds into the session remaining. Currently right now on the hard compound tyre. Doing 140.2 right now. Oh, there was a slow Renault there, and that was Matthew. Matthew was cheekily there. Could have messed up Lewis Curtis's lap, and Lewis isn't happy. As you can tell, Lewis could have gone on another lap, but he's actually going to come into the pits, it looks like. Matthew made... Oh, Curtis just crashes into the wall there. I think Matthew's been let off a bit lucky there with that little bit of incident. Kevin, when Venom goes on the lap, would you expect it?
Yeah.
Right now, though, Venom is being proving that he's F1 pace, and he has been promoted, of course, from F2. He did very good, won a couple of races. As he's now going to see what he's got against the big guys, see if he can match any of these lot.
Yeah, and looking at, I mean, what he was doing in F2, it looks like he could well be up there, as I said earlier. So, could see something good from him, although on the exit, where it kind of counts, won't affect him too much, but he did have a little bit of correction coming out of the corner, just entering sector 3. Won't affect him too much, luckily. But coming down the long straight to start his lap now, coming into turn 1, you've got to take a lot of curb and take it as wide as possible to give yourself the best entry and exit. And it looks like it wasn't really the best. One didn't really hit the apex as well as he could have, and he's also got a bit of traffic in Rafford's side, although he may have just benefited from that. So he might be a bit happier with the slipstream, as Louis goes pole there. 36.6, but we stick on board with this lap. Coming through sector 2, I'm pretty sure it should be now. Yeah, it is. That little section of corner is pretty tricky to get right, and if you can get it right, you can gain a lot of time. Now coming into the castle section, where it's very, very easy to just spin it in the wall. Getting very, very close to the wall, as you want to get as close as possible to maximize your lap time. And it looks like he did take that quite well, and now coming to these swooping left-handers. Flat out until this corner is a very tricky braking zone, it's also downhill. And it looks like he's hopped over the curb well. Hopefully he didn't get the validation there. He may have though, as he also misses the apex there, so that will affect him all the way down to the finish line. See if he continues or not. It looks like he's still in overtake. He's activated the IRL, so it doesn't look like it's gotten validated. We'll see where this puts him. And that's a 38.0, so not the best lap, but also there were a few mistakes on that lap, so maybe he can improve and get a little bit closer to the top.
Right there, but a person who is on a lap right now is Rafa, who's just behind Venom. I did see that Venom did make a lot of mistakes on that lap. Maybe it was a banker for him. We may see him later on in the session obliterate that time by a whole second. As we can see, people have set 37.1s. There's only 2 people who broke into the 136s. 3 people who haven't done lap times yet is Matthew Alder, Tom and Sondre. I've only got that actually crashed out in pit lane. Some interesting information as well for him. He did hit Castle again, so he is having trouble with Castle again with the car. I believe last season he wasn't actually, I think he was in the Toro Rosso when he did it. So he isn't murked this season, so it can affect him. Here comes that Raptor through the Castle section, nice and close to the walls there. Not backing out at all, just pushing the limits as much as he can. He may have invalidated it on that exit, but he is flying with that Red Bull as his yells in sector 2. That could be someone crashing into Castle. As currently right now, the Red Bulls have got their highest qualifying position at the moment, 2nd and 3rd. I believe this is their highest this season. The Red Bulls fighting back, but it may be a bit too late in the constructors' standings against the top 2, Alfa Romeo and Renault, but they could settle for 3rd place. It's currently right now though, Rafa is coming up to the line. Almost out of ERS, just got about 20% left. Comes to the line, does improve, 136.982, just a few hundredths off his teammate there, so not a bad lap, obviously, a lap from him there. But speaking about his teammate right now, Jay is also about to finish his lap. As now he's approaching the final few corners as he yells yet again in sector 2, and that's Louis. Louis is out. I don't know where that is. If Kevin, if you can find that there.
Yeah, that's in the castle section, I think. It looks like Cameron may have been involved in that. He was going quite slow in the castle section. He's actually got no wing. Yeah, I think Cameron was involved in that. He's exited the castle section with no wing, and obviously Louis out. So, yeah, an incident between them two is what it seems like. I didn't get to see it though.
So, Louis will not be qualifying pole then today, as Jay has just beaten Matthew Alder's time. If it will
1,000th of a second between the top two.
Wow, that's a very good lap time. I've seen 1,000th of a second before between you and me in Monaco when it was intermediates, but from the F1 tier, you don't really expect it. But Matthew is in second place right now, not doing the best in the Renault team, and Jay is showing him that he could have been in this championship right this season.
Cameron's out as well, the same as Bran, exact same way going into the pit lane. And there's a few more people going into the pit lane as well. And yeah, no, it looks like this car's gone.
Is there an issue in the pits?
No, it looks like it was a lock-up from Bran, and also Cameron didn't exactly have a wing, so it would make it a bit harder for him to stop, and obviously he didn't start braking early enough, and that put him in the wall, so yeah, well, just kind of looks like silly mistakes really.
Some people are already cracking under the pressure already, but right now, well, speaking about a person who should be a bit happy this season is Tom, but he just made a mistake there. Backed off his lap, but I was going to say he was going to be a bit happier that the Ferrari team finally broken out from last in the constructors and took second to last. Now Toro Rosso is last, so I believe the Toro Rosso team is Zenki and Aaron Collins, who are currently 5th and 6th, which I don't know their pace really. I know Aaron's pace as he was in the start of the season. Had a bit of controversy with Sondre, but he has come back in the Toro Rosso today. I think he's just a reserve this week. As right now, here comes Sondre, the bottle owl, or as the sick owl today. He's really ill. Not feeling the weather in the rain. As you can see, he's lifted off and he's got a bit of wind damage there. Not paying attention into Sector 2 as he could, as it looks like he may have had a bit of contact in Castle. The model hasn't had the best of run at the moment with Collie. There's only 4 minutes to the session remaining, so if he doesn't want to start near the back of the grid, he needs to get his lap up to scratch, get his head into the game, and see what time he can do.
Yeah, someone who's starting lap right now is Venom from the on board.
Is Venom?
Oh, Venom's he's actually made. Yeah, he's made a massive mistake at the start of his lap, and that will put him.
That basically could end his qualifying run if he can't get into into the pits as quick as possible. The only pit the people actually were on a lap was actually just Venom. You were right.
He may make it, but it's going to be very tight. He'll have to sweat.
He may go for another run actually on those tyres.
Yeah, he'll have about 2 minutes 20 seconds left once he gets in the pit lane. It's going to be very marginal. I'm not sure if he'll get lapping or not, but.
As everyone's still in the pits, as we can see, everybody is on the soft compound tyre now. Does that introduce a strategy, or does that introduce rain? We're going to watch Venom through Castle. Nice and tyre not pushing too much.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have enough time. That's just bad timing. I know they're 10 seconds, and I may have got a.
I think Venom's going to do another lap on these set tyres. I don't think there's enough time to. Yeah, as it looks like he is. He's pricking up the ERS, ready to set that McLaren into pole position. He's going to aim for today. His team is in 9th with 37.7. Let's see what Venom can do.
Yeah, coming down the straight now to start his lap. His tyres aren't going to be happy with this, but starting position is quite a nice thing to have at a track like this. So coming into turn 1, second time of asking, it is actually a lot better, and he gets a lot more planted and he hits the apex nicely there. Coming into turn 2 once again, very, very nice, hitting the apex very nice, and this will benefit him all the way down to turn 3. Quite a long run down to turn 3 down this second little back straight, and it seems that he has actually got this lap quite hooked up. No mistakes so far. He's getting as close to the curves as possible to maximise his lap time. There's a little bit of a lock-up there. That won't help him. It doesn't look like it's going to affect him too much. Obviously this time the lock-up isn't going to put him straight on. So now coming into the castle section, and he actually gets a little bit of oversteer maybe. Not a great entry through there, but he does continue on. He is going to be looking for an improvement. Now through his left-handers that are flat out, and now to the downhill braking zone. Now coming around the front corner, it's got a little bit of traffic. He's also got his teammate there in front of him, so maybe a bit of team strategy for a little bit of slipstream at the end of his lap. If it is or isn't, then we'll take it anyway. And that'll actually help him benefit. This is a nice bit of slipstream he's getting. Now he's going to open DRS. Coming up to the line, what lap can Venom do? He's going to be looking for a big improvement. No, he doesn't improve too much. He gets a 37.9, about 0.2 of an improvement.
Well, yeah, watching that lap, he was down a little bit insensitive. Remember, this is his second lap, set of soft tyres. He did lock up into turn 1, so that lock up was shredding those tyres. Performance. It's currently right now, we're going to go on board with the championship points leader. Currently in second place right now. He's got a big advantage over Louis. Louis is currently in third and crashing out in the quality session. Matthew's going to have a bit of momentum if he wants to try and take first from Jay. Currently Jay is 1,000th of a second ahead of him right now. Who is ahead of who? As Jay is actually about to finish his lap. So is Jay going to improve? I don't think he is. He's actually going to peel into the pits. And yes, he does. Jay is in. What about Matthew? Will Matthew improve? All he needs is 1,000th of a second to improve to beat Jay. As Jay has retired, so he's called it quits off quali.
Yeah,
Will Matthew beat him?
Yeah, Matthews is about a 10th up in Sector 1 as well, so he is, if he's going for this pole, which obviously he is, he's doing a great job of doing it. I'm just having a look at the sector times.
Look at a lovely camera over there from the Renault. Someone just did improve though, and I believe that was possibly Tom there, and it is. Tom is currently in 7th place, first person to finish, I believe, on his qualifying lap. But here comes Matthew Alder, ready to set the Renault into first place, or will he stay in second? We'll have to wait and see. Has he got the sector times good enough to beat 1,000th of a second of Jay's time?
It looks like he will, but he'll have to have a sector 3 good.
And yes, he improved it by a 100th of a second there. Oh, actually, yeah, 100th.
Yeah, he improves by a little under a 10th.
So good lap there from Matthew Alder. Does take pole position, and the only two people who are currently out on laps is Sondre and Venom. There's a Red Bull there. Sondre doesn't improve, doesn't even move the position really, except passing Brand the retired car. And there's a 137.9. Yeah. So Sondre, being ill today, is starting near the back of the grid. He's not feeling too good.
Yeah, Sterling also seems like he ran out of fuel at the end of his lap, so he wasn't able to improve.
Well, that is unfortunate there for Sterling, as we have seen him before doing some good strategies. Got a podium at one point. We're going to see that again today.
Yeah, actually, looking at it, the two Williams, I mean, they've been doing pretty well the past few races. Not really up there as they normally are. They're usually up in the top 10, around 5th and 6th, but today, not really.
Well, you are right there, and there's your man. Top step of the podium for quali is Matthew Alder with the 136.4 there. Just ahead of Jay by a few hundredths. In second place, almost a 10th there. Louis in third, retired, only 2/10. So Louis only did one lap, and he was only 2/10 slower than Matthew. So as Louis got some pace, any more pace than Matthew at this track. Fourth place is the Toro Rosso driver. In fifth place is Rafa. Sixth is Collingwood. 7th is Tom. 8th is Diego. 9th is Cameron Young. 10th is Lee Kelly. 11th is Sterling in the Williams. Good pairing for the Williams team in 11th. And 12th is Lewis Curtis. Ian Romanella in 13th. Still not finding grips with the Merc. Venom in 14th. Not the best quality he's had today, but he's racing against some new guys. And the sick Bottle Haug, who is dying today, is in last place. As there won't be any need for this in the chat, we'll just leave it as it is. And you know who I'm talking to, so we're going to get ready for the race. The top 4 then, for my prediction, will be Matthew, Alder, Louis, Jay and Rafa. I think that will be my top 4 for today.
I'm going to put Louis first, and Matthew second. I want to see the rest of the grid because I want to put someone like out of nowhere gets a podium, so I mean, anything could happen, so.
Oh, you are right. Last season, Sondre did get a podium last season after there was a huge crash, but I don't think Sondre is going to be anywhere near that pace today since he's not feeling up to it. He's not in the right mindset today, so we'll have to wait and see what he can do out of that famous bottling effort he does, as we're about to come on the formation lap. And here comes Mathieu to lead the Renault into the formation lap, as he's got Jay in second and Louis in third. Louis really is championship rival. There's the 2 guys I'm going to definitely keep an eye on today is the Toro Rossos and see what they can do. Yes, they've got against everybody else.
Yeah, I'm going to put, as I said, Louis first, Matthew second. I'm going to put Diego third, and then Jay fourth. And if I want to throw in a fifth, Rafa fifth.
Okay, that is Kevin's qualifying prediction. And tyre strategies are quite similar. Top 10 along with the soft compound up, obviously, since they started on it. But Sterling, Lewis Curtis, Venom, Sondre, and Brandon Glover on medium tyres. However, the one person who is the odd one out is Nino Lamello. He's in the hard compound tyre strategy, so he's going hard to soft. Now, softening is possible around this track if they're going to tyre it. Let's see what Nino can do. There may be a safety car at one point. There could be a crash in Castle. We have seen it before. Will we see it again? Last time, I believe, we had 6 finishes or 8 finishes, something like that.
Yeah, looking at the quali as well, from like around 5th to like 12th, the gaps weren't actually that much. So we could see a grid that doesn't really break apart. So if they're going to be following that closely, if the race reflects quality in any way, then could well see some battling, and if battling means anything on this track, then it probably means crashes.
Yeah, alright, there is Jay's not with Matthew, which he is in theory allowed to do, but for some reason slow down quite dramatically, which could affect other people. But Jay is not having any of that. He doesn't want any shenanigans. I believe some happened to him in China with that. Matthew went extremely slow and got disqualified from the formation lap, which he's allowed to do that since he is the net leader. Well, is the leader of the formation lap. As we are about to get underway in this sun raising heat right now, as we're about to start the 5-light sequence of Baku. Championships now only between Matthew Alder and IRL CRG versus ILRT into the IRL season. Who will be at the top set? The time will tell. And the light sequence is about to start. And there we go, the light sequence is starting. We're up to 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, now 5 lights, and we're about to get away at Baku. And Jay's had a bit of a better start than Matthew. Actually, no, Matthew's had a decent start, but so much Louis. Louis is getting feisty already, trying to get in, and Zenki's already pulling himself into third. Collingwood's going for a big lunge there into Louis, and Collingwood's already in trouble with Thomas, and he goes round. And Aaron has just made a huge crash already into turn 1 there. Aaron should a little bit, he shouldn't have done the driver there, however,
yeah, a few guys at the back was damaged there from the little bit of a pile up in turn 2. Might have to hit for that.
I've got to say though, Kevin, who do you think was at fault with that little incident between Aaron and Tom?
I didn't particularly see it. I was watching people a bit further back and just kind of got caught out. They couldn't really do anything, so.
Jay is in the lead of this race, and he will be having what he wants today. What about Louis? Will Louis dropped the 4th place? This is very crucial in the championship. Matthew did beat him in France by, I believe it's a few hundreds. Very close to being the top 4 between Cameron, Rafa, Matthew and Louis. As no one has crashed out in turn 1, sorry, lap 1, and it isn't the Brandon who caused the first crash at the start. As now though, we'll go back on board with Jay, who's going to be leading the first lap in the Red Bull.
Yeah, looking at people who gained quite a bit. Brandon actually had quite a good start. He's gained 5 places, and Venom gained 4, although he will have to pit with wing damage. So it's unfortunate for him. And there's actually quite a fight for 11th place. There's like a 3 wide moment, I think, if you're watching this.
Yeah, Diego, Nino, and someone's off in sector 1. Who is it? I don't know who's off in sector 1.
Yeah, I think that was contact.
Lee Kelly. Lee Kelly is round in sector 1 there.
Yeah, and Diego in turn 2 as well. He got caught on the side pod of, I think, was Brandon. That kind of made him lose the back end, and then his exit speed was hindered quite a bit, and a few people got past him. I think he has got a little bit of wing damage from that as well, I think.
Sondre is in trouble right now. He's getting chased by a person who's on the hard part of the tyre right now, all over his gearbox, with Diego and Cameron not that far behind, so Sondre's going to have to watch out. But so does Brandon now. Brandon's on Sterling, currently battling for 7th place, and that's unfortunate for Lee. He no longer can race in the session. If he does rejoin and race, he's going to be disqualified since new rules have been applied. If you do leave the session, you can every corner basically. It's coming right now, though, still in 7th, getting chased by Brandon Glover. And soon we'll go on board with Matthew, Alder and Jay. Right now we're on the battle for 4th. Sterling does a bit of a lock up. Brandon is getting feisty to 7th.
Yeah, there's obviously quite a lot of fights actually down in P9. I mean, Sondre looks to be struggling a little bit. I mean, obviously you kind of expect that he's not feeling well, and he's got a little bit of a train behind him of Brand, Diego and Cameron, who looks like there may well be another 3 wide moment as Cameron's closing as well.
And yeah, you
it's not Brandon, that's Nino.
There is a 3-way wide moment. You are right, Cameron was in the middle between Diego and Nino Romanello. Oh, and we're in side pods there, the Merc and the Alpha. This is good for the Alpha Rail team since they need to catch up with Renault in the constructors. And Diego is almost been stripping the wall there by Nino. Very clever defending from the youngster. As Cameron Young now is on the inside of Diego, looking to try and split in the middle. Is it going to be 3 wide into this corner? This is very risky. It's going to be 3 wide. Cameron Young pulls it off and passes both drivers, one on the right, one on the left. Great move there from Cameron Young, cutting out into 10th place. What a move.
Yeah, I mean, ballsy move to go in between them. I mean, looking at how you approach that corner, it's difficult enough with 2 cars going side by side in it, but 3 cars, I mean, really great move. And also GG's for Diego for backing out, because if he didn't back out, there could have well been quite a crash there.
Oh, correct, man. Speaking about a person who made a mistake in castle section, it's actually Zenki. He's going to be getting caught by Rafa right now, who's got in P5, one in P4 for the Red Bull team, trying to score the Red Bull team some more points for the constructors to try and catch up with the Haas team, I believe. But right now, though, the Red Bull team are starting to get motivated and starting to push that car to its limit. Rafa versus Zenki, Toro Rosso versus Red Bull. Is Jay in the pits? No, Jay's been passed by Matthew Alder. Matthew's got ahead of Jay. Rafa has got ahead of Zenki. Will Zenki go for a lunge at the next corner? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, almost touching the rear end of each other. And, very late on the brakes. Could have ended badly for Rafa there. Oh, Thomas is out. Thomas is out. Oh, and that is... I think he's actually manually retired the car. And yes, he has manually retired the car there. And I think that's because of Lee's AI. Lee could join and retire his car into the pits, but I don't think he will. As Nino has peeled into the pits already from the hard compounded tyre, so Nino is going on the sort of strategy. Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure what happened with Lee's car, but obviously it is an AI and you are meant to join back to retire it. I mean, he may not actually have a second invite. If that's the case, then that's not really his fault. But yeah, quite unfortunate that an AI had to do that.
Track is actually between Sterling and Brandon. Sterling went out for P7, so Brandon did get past, but he hasn't been able to pull away.
Yeah, he's closely followed by Sterling, and he may well be able to make a move. I mean, we've seen many going into turn 1 making moves in the slipstream. You get it from here all the way down to turn 1, and you also benefit from the DRS. He is in mode 3, he's not going into overtake, which is interesting. Mode 4 is the quicker one, and he is going to be closing all the way to turn 1, but it doesn't look like he's close enough to get past Brandon, and no, he's going to have to stick behind a little bit longer. Actually, a little update on the top 2 as well. Matthew has pulled a gap. He's got out of DRS range of Jay, and he is pulling away.
Zenki's now sort of back up the pace, I think, and he's currently in 4th place. Rafa, and Rafa's going to try and pull a big gap as much as possible, but he's going to have to do it quickly because soon he will be in DRS range yet again. So he's still in 3rd, battling, getting closer and closer to Jay. He did make an error in Castle and crashed into Wally. Oh, it's yellows in sector 2. Who's round? Who is gone into Castle? Is
That's Zenki. Zenki's round at Castle.
And Zenki's manually retired. That could be. Yeah, that is it. That is definitely getting investigated at the end of the race. Here with Zenki manually retiring the car.
Yeah, that's allowed Sondre to get past Bran when if the
car
wasn't there.
Damage. It looks, yeah, that has given Bran left end plate damage. Oh, I do apologise if my mic is too loud.
Yeah, he's got major damage both sides. He's definitely gonna have to pit. That looks like a red wing on one half, and then the other half is probably orange. And a virtual safety car as well.
Yeah. So
and the top 3 all into the pits at the same time. Yeah, most people on softs, or pretty much everyone on softs, are going to be coming in. Take this opportunity to get in a little bit of time.
Is this better? If this is better, do let me know. I do apologise if the mic is lower. It is a new mic. But right now...
It actually does sound a lot better.
A lot better? Thank you very much. Well, Sondre is now moved to 4th place for that BSC, so he may be a bit happy with himself, but that is between Brandon and Zenki. Would have to be
Jerry, can you move it like slightly away, because it's kind of...
Now it's too loud?
Got like a weird... No, it's not. The volume of it is fine, it's just that because it's so close, you're kind of getting like a...
Ah, right. Alright, I do apologise for this. Oh, the Mercedes almost come to blows! Nino and Bran. Bran was really cheeky there. Is this anything like that?
Yeah, it seems hard.
I apologise if the mic already is low. I will try and fix that for next week. The current right now, though, Nino is right behind Brandon. So Brandon behind Nino right now, and Brandon is on the tyres going to the end. Nino is in mediums, but not going to the end. Right now, Benedict in 10th, and they're now charging 4th Mercedes drivers.
Yeah.
Just give me. Let me fix that. Hards can go to the end from lap 1. Really, it's
okay.
The mic should be better now. I think it's because I had my party error thing. But yeah, I think hards could go to the end. Mediums, I don't know.
Yeah, that would mean... Oh, as Bran actually has a big slide coming out of that corner, and it's going to allow Venom to get right on him.
Yeah, the hard maybe they'll be able to go to the end, but they're not the fastest and they're not the grippiest kind of tyre. Paco, tell me if it's any better now. Because Kevin can hear me good. If it's should be better on stream very shortly. But Jay is actually, I hadn't noticed this, Jay's in the lead. Jay is on medium tyres going to the end, and Matthew is on hard tyres. Has Matthew done a mistake? Louis done the same strategy. but he's
That
trying
is
to
interesting
challenge
because I mean, with the slipstream and the advantage that you gain from following a car down the straights, I don't really think Matthew will be falling back too much unless Jay really pushes in the corners. But by the end of this race, I mean, Matthew and Louis are going to be a lot faster than Jay, and presumably, I mean, obviously overtaking isn't really that much of an issue on this track, so yeah, I think Jay may have just done a mistake. If he was a bit further ahead and he could actually make the best of his tires now, might have been better, but I think that's a bit of a mistake from Jay there.
See. Well, thank you, Paco. I do apologise if it is low. I'm going to get it fixed for next week. There was, when I first got it, a bit of issue connecting it to the PlayStation. But right now, though, Matthew is behind Jay, as he isn't really in the championship fight, Jay, but Matthew is. Oh, yellow's in sector 2. Who is that? It's Lino Romanello. He has, I don't know what he's done. If he's not careful, he's going to get disqualified. Nino is in a pickle.
Oh, oh, that's a bad spot to be in.
He can be a little away.
I think he reset the track, but
he can be let away with that
didn't
as long
affect
as...
anyone.
Oh, and
he's out actually.
Both wheels gone. He resets the track, tries to save it, and he just goes in castle.
Yeah, Sterling gets past him with no issue, luckily.
Will there be a safety car? No. No safety car at the moment, but Jay is currently still ahead of Matthew, pulling away from Louis right now. Sondre still in 4th. Could we see the famous Ballhaug get a 3rd place today, like he did last season? We'll have to wait and see.
Has he pit Sondre?
No, he actually hasn't, I don't believe. So actually, no, he won't even get 3rd unless he does a masterclass strategy. He is going medium to soft, it feels like.
Yeah, the only one left out on track not to pit is he goes very deep and also almost loses a bit of his wing, and that has allowed Rafa to close up a lot. And obviously Rafa's going to be a lot quicker as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of just flew by him in the next 2 seconds.
Yeah, you are right. It's currently though Matthew has lost a bit of time to Jay, as I believe there is actually a bigger battle further down the track, currently for 4th place. Rafa and Aaron Collingwood versus Sondre, and Aaron just misjudges his braking point and just hits the wall there. So he's lost a bit of his end plate. So now it looks like it's just Rafa and Sondre to battle it out for P4.
Well, Sondre still yet to pit, so he's not really fighting for 4th.
You are correct there, but you never know. Sondre could go on the soft tyre and come back into this race, which Jay sets new fastest start, 141.3. And there you go, there goes Rafa through, like... He's gone through very quickly there. Straight line speed, there's a lot more. Sondre trying to have a look on the inside, but Sondre now has to watch out from Collingwood. Collingwood has got wing damage, so Collingwood's steering will not be the best. So Collingwood's going to have to not go for the inside kind of moves. He rear ends Sondre there, it looked like. As he's doing zigzags.
Yeah, Sondre didn't get the best exit there, so couldn't really do anything about it. Sondre seems to be struggling on those mediums right now.
Curtis is out of the race. Lewis Curtis is out. He's crashed somewhere in sector 3. Although Ballhaug's tyres should be able to last a bit longer.
That's he's crashed on the right-hander, in the 3rd sector, flat out. So he probably had wing damage and just kind of crashed into the wall on the left. That's where his car was.
Now 12 drivers remaining off today. Will we have the same as last season? Guys, put your votes on how many drivers you think are going to finish this race. It is Baku, of course.
Yeah, technically there's 11 drivers as well, because Lee's
Lee actually is
not here, and if he does come back then he has to retire his car anyway. So.
There's Matthew Alder right now. He's still in 2nd, but losing time to Jay. So has the Renault team done the mistake, which I did this year in IRL F2 in Mexico, gone on the wrong choice of tyre.
I'm actually looking at it. Matthew's used a lot of his ERS, and he's got pretty much none left. He's sitting on like 8% of ERS left.
You know, right
So
there.
yeah, this is Jay's chance to start pulling away now.
Is Matthew learning a few tips and tricks from Sondre, a bit bottling from the championship points leader. He's currently in second. He will still gain some points over Louis, but you know, this ERS management isn't the best. He isn't pushing the car as much. In my opinion, if I was Matthew, I'd try and get ahead of Jay as soon as possible and just control the race from there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be an easy task though, because he doesn't have as much ERS as he would have liked. Jay now has over half his battery, and Matthew's struggling to have 20%. And the minute he gets in the straight, that'll all go away again.
You are correct there. This isn't the best track to save ERS.
Yeah, after even that little straight, he's already back to about 10%.
If I was Matthew, I'll just save ERS as much as can. Lose a bit of time, but then do a little push lap, save ERS, and then push full out. But he has to then pay attention to Louis. Louis only 2.5 off him right now. One penalty from Matthew could make Louis take second off him.
Yeah, I'm just looking for other fights. It looks like Sondre and Bran are quite close together. Although Bran has older tyres compared to Sondre, so it looks like Sondre will be pulling away. Actually, speaking about Sondre, he's put it in the wall a little bit, and he's lost a bit of his end plate.
Oh yeah, you are right there. I didn't notice that. Maybe that's why he was losing time to Aaron.
No, he literally just did it like 2 seconds ago.
Oh, did he? So the bottle is bottling as well. Right now, Brandon's starting to catch up. Someone is into the pits, and it is Collingwood. So Aaron is in on 5 laps hard tyres. It's very strange.
Yeah, Sondre stays out, so obviously the wing damage isn't enough to make him pit, but it will be hindering him all the time, and Bran will be hunting him down all the time, and he'll be there very soon.
Sorry to cut you off, Kevin, but there's been a big change in time and interval into the top 2. Jay and Matthew. Matthew's almost 2 seconds off Jay.
Yeah, and it looks like he's still... No, not really, because he's, as I said earlier, the minute he gets on the straight, it all goes away. He's only got 15%.
So has Matthew got an issue on those hard compound of tyres? Actually, hang on, I've just noticed this. Sondre did pit. Sondre has pitted.
Yeah, he has.
And that wing damage, that wing damage isn't going to help at all.
No. Yeah, Bran's going to be right at the back of him, and with slipstream and DRS, I'd say that he's just going to fly by. And as you see in that corner, he's almost going to be side by side coming into the final corner you have to brake for. Final corner of sector 2, I think. No, it's actually the first of sector 3, but yeah. Coming through the left-right, flat out it is. And he's going to get DRS in a second as well, does Bran. Will he go to the left, will he go to the right? Looks like Andre is going to defend to the outside, Bran goes to the inside. And it looks like he's going to be able to have that move done before the corner. He does, and up into 5th place.
And Aaron Collingwood gets the move done on Brandon. So Aaron actually got jumped in the pits by his wing change from Sondre. So these two will be going back at it very shortly. This isn't good for the bottle halve right now. This isn't good for the Renault team either, because right now Louis is in 3rd place, going to get 15 points. Diego is going to get 2, so 17 altogether. Where Matthew is right now, Matthew can basically still keep the Renaults ahead in the constructors, like gain a point off him. But if Sondre makes an error, like a very big error, and causes a safety car, we could see some guys from the further behind the grid ruin the Reynolds races today. As right now, Matthew's lost a lot of time. And speaking about a person who's ruined his own race, is Collingwood. Collingwood has just crashed into Castle, has made a little error.
Yeah, Diego's going to be coming up behind him in a second. Oh, he's right in the middle of the track, and that might hinder. Well, it did hinder Cameron a little bit.
No, it hindered Diego more. Cameron's all over the back of him.
And yeah, his car's gone now, but it's put Diego and Cameron right next to each other. And it's allowed Cameron to close up a lot. Could see a move, and he's actually, Diego isn't really getting great exits, so could he have wing damage maybe? He doesn't. So yeah, just a bad exit from Diego, and it's allowed Cameron to be right up the back of him. No DRS even in activation yet, and he's already side by side. And he's gone through, and that's P8 for Cameron.
He's basically 10 miles an hour faster than the Alpha. And Diego doesn't fight it, he just lets him go. Currently, there is another battle on track. Bran versus Sorhaug. Yet again, Bran made an error last season in Castle, and Sondre was saved by it. Right now, Jay has pulled up a big gap now, 3.4 seconds to Matthew Alder.
Yeah, he's really made the most of those mediums, and actually looking at it, Matthew has actually saved, and his battery life is a bit healthier, although Louis is in the DRS of Matthew, so we could see a fight between them two. And if they fight enough, it could allow Jay to just get away a little bit more and help him towards this race win.
You're all correct there. As Bran could have been up there possibly if he didn't get hit by the other Toro Rosso driver. Unfortunately, he has managed to bring it back, however, though, bring it to 5th. But his day could have gone a total different way and could have been battling for 4th place, maybe 3rd at one point. But right now he's going to have to stay in 5th right now, and he has got a big gap, almost 27 seconds. So Bran's just basically going to focus now to the end of this race.
Yeah, looking at it, this will be Jay's 3rd win of the season. He won the 2nd and 3rd round of Austria and Mexico, and he hasn't been able to win since. So a win here would be quite a confidence boost for him for the remaining races.
Yeah, you're right. Jay did win the 2nd and 3rd round, but after that it was just a few errors and making a few mistakes with Cameron Young. They had a few crashes, Spain, and I can't remember the other track. Coming to blows, and Jay's championship just fell apart from there. And Jay was championship contender at the start. He was very quick. He still is very quick. He just made a few errors, and now I think he's got those errors out of him. This is his 2nd season in F1, and he's currently beating one of the best drivers in the world in PS4, as he's basically showing that his strategy is the better strategy to do.
Yeah, Louis now is on the back of Matthew Alder. It looks like he's going to be going to the left. He has DRS in activation. Obviously, Matthew has none because there's no one in front of him to get it off. And Matthew goes through and he gets up into 2nd. So, championship rivals in quite a little fight for 2nd here. Well, a big fight really for 2nd. And Louis is leading it.
As Benhams gets a faster time penalty, exceed track limits there. So that will be added to his time. However, though, Matthew Alder is in 3rd. This isn't good for him for his championship sake. He says that he needs to start picking some pace. And remember, he's actually gone to pad for this weekend on control. He has actually downgraded a little bit. He will be back on wheel next week, as he was doing really slow times on wheel around here, but it hasn't got to him that much. He's just currently in 3rd, still in a podium position, of course, which is very good to see for Matthew. But it isn't good to see that his championship rival ahead of him in 2nd could win the championship.
Lee's AI might cause some problems for these two.
Maybe Lee's AI, but
they're coming up on it.
Lee can't really help lagging out. It's not his fault, really. There has been a few times people just lagged out. I lagged out last week. You lagged out the week after. Oh, Louis hits the wall. Matthew gets a 5-second time penalty, exceeding track limits there, so he did the corner cut, it looks like. So Matthew's got a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, luckily no damage for Louis though. So we got off lucky there. And he will actually, he'll get DRS presumably off Lee's AI. He will actually get DRS, so this will help him stay ahead of Matthew. And will Lee's AI actually end up getting between them? No, it won't. It gets out of the way of both of them. They can both go through.
This isn't probably what Louis needs right now, though, since Matthew Alder is right behind him. But Matthew doesn't want Louis. Oh, hang on, wait a minute.
Jeez.
Jay is in the pits.
Oh.
So this is going to be a bigger guy. It's going to be 7 points, I believe. Isn't it? 7 points, 25.
Yeah, it's 7 points, yeah.
And currently... Yeah, right, yeah. So he's going to get 7 points more than Matthew. So we'll do some maths there quick.
Jay does have the fastest lap, though, so we'll get an extra point for that. And he is quite close to his teammates, so he'll be obviously getting past him pretty soon.
So maybe Jay was doing the two-stop strategy then.
There's only
Jay
actually with 10.5 laps to go. Jay has about a 10-second gap that he needs to close. He's on fresh mediums as well, so if his teammate makes it easy for him, he could be going on a charge. And if Matthew and Louis fight a bit as well, you could say that there's going to be a three-way fight right at the end for the win.
You're all right there. So I'm just going to do some master quick. I believe the gap point delta would be 54 points between, if the race stays like this, if Louis wins this race. Right now, I believe that's correct. If I am wrong, I do apologise. But right now, though, Matthew is staying with him. Jay, though, is starting to close quite quickly. Jay is closing really quickly, and he's got past his teammate. His teammate needs to not hold him up. His teammate, this could ruin Matthew right now. Jay could win this race, and Rafa right now is kind of costing Jay.
Oh, and a misshift from Jay there. I was watching that. He shifted down instead of up on the exit there.
Jay is running out of time. Lap 17 out of 26. If he wants to start catching, Rafa's just going to have to let him by. But I know Rafa's going to be stubborn. He wants to keep the Red Bull into third. He's going to defend really tight. Jay's going to go on the outside. I've only seen one person do this move. Oh, a bit of wheel banging. The Red Bull teammates. Will this be another Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo incident? Jay goes on the inside in Castle, and Rafa, sensible, backs off and lets him go.
What a move from Jay there. I mean, really ballsy to put around the outside. And now we can start chasing after the top two. Really, really good move.
Oh yeah, you're correct there. As right now, though, Matthew Alder still in second. Now look, already Jay's starting to close. He's closed 3 tenths already onto Matthew, which isn't really the best. If he was on the soft tyre, he may be gaining a second a lap. Now these two could pit, in theory, and go soft tyres and catch up Jay, because Jay, soft tyres to mediums, I think it's the second quicker. Well, I don't know. Matthew's now starting to close up and doesn't attempt for a lunge into turn 1. Oh,
yeah, it looks like
he's trying to come back. No, he's not.
Yeah, I was going to say there, it looks like Louis is pulling away a bit from Matthew. He's only able to keep up because of the DRS and slipstream. Once they get into the corners, it looks like Louis has the pace over Matthew.
You are right there. Remember though, Matthew is on controller today, so that might be why he's not finding the best speed. He's trying to get back in his old ways, where he used to be controller, but he's used to no assists, so he's probably, with line there, it's probably just getting used to it. But currently Matthew is in second, Louis in first.
Jay's not actually closing as much as he would like to, and he's also getting held up by the AI of Lee right now. So once again, Lee's AI causing problems, and it looks like Jay kind of just pushed his AI out of the way.
It's just his AI. There'll be no penalty for that. It's just his AI.
Yeah.
If there's a penalty for that, it's ridiculous. As Jay comes third now. Gonna have to watch out from Rafa. Louis is in the lead. Matthew still. So yellow's in sector 2. Is that because of Lee? Yes, it is. Lee's AI is out. Someone has hit Lee's AI. Who's it? Has someone hit Lee's AI?
Well, I mean, the way the AI are, I mean, he got damage after Jay just spun him around, which, I mean, fair enough. I mean, this AI isn't even meant to be there.
Well, yeah, true. I have seen.
So yeah, with like no wing, I'd say he probably like the AI just binned it on its own, in the left-right, like he probably just turned like an AI would, and AI just kind of went out. I mean, they aren't really that smart, to be honest.
They aren't smart round AI. I've seen that in career mode where Devin Butler's AI, when I was doing click the flying lap option, and it said Devin Butler retired, so I wanted to see what it was, and he just, for some reason, just went straight into castle and crashed. Like, didn't even bother steering. So it is possible that could have happened. However, though, Matthew Alder still in second, not getting any time. Venom has just got past Bottlehaug. So Venom's already showing that he's got the pace to be with the top guys already, and already showing that Sondre, even with wing damage, even being ill, that you've got defenders. Sondre's got major wing damage.
I mean, looking at it, coming from the back, Matthew did. That's Matthew Collins. Up into 6th, pretty good debut for him in IRL F1.
You are correct there. Matthew Collins is doing a very good debut. He's right now ahead of his VRT teammate Cameron Young, who's currently in 8th place, and basically Venom's showing him that he is a lot faster right now, and Cameron maybe a bit disappointed as Cameron's had a few good races in the Haas, had a few issues with the Haas. Sondre is really struggling. Sondre should just get out of the way. He's basically got big wing damage, not really battling with these guys, and he does, as I said, lets him through. Sondre needs to pit, go on a set of soft tyres and try and help Reynolds' calls for the fastest lap. Right now though, Diego is in 9th, slowly catching up with Sondre as Jay sets the new fastest lap. 1:41 flats right now. It doesn't look like the top two are going to be anywhere near that right now. As right now though, Matthew is actually slowly catching back up with Louis, so as Matthew now decided to pick up the pace. I've got to say, look, Kevin, Jay's strategy, it's a bit odd what he's done, gone soft, medium, medium.
Yeah, it is. I mean, soft to medium is a possible strategy. I mean, he could have made the mediums work. I mean, he had about a 5-second gap to Matthew, which, I mean, looking at it, really that gap may have come down, so he might have thought, like, well, if I pit, I can more or less guarantee fastest lap. If I stay out, then I can't guarantee a win. So maybe he's looking at, if I get 3rd and fastest lap, it's better than dropping to 3rd and then not having a fastest lap. So maybe that's the reasoning.
Yeah, possibly. He probably wants to do a bit of damage limitation as he can. But he isn't in the championship fight, so in theory a 3rd place for him will be good to see, and he'll be happy with that. As right now though, Matthew is gaining, and he's got a lot more ERS now than Louis. So Louis has basically done what Matthew did, and Matthew's got using 0 ERS. So is Louis. He's got 20% more Matthew has than Louis. Matthew, however, stays behind him this time. Matthew's now
he gets
to do what
it's
you
very
did in France.
close.
Reminds me of the French.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I did in France, to be honest.
You backed off with me, and then you overtook me on the last corner on the last lap, which was a great move. And you know, will we see that from Matthew Alder make a dashing move on the final lap on the straight, going at neck and neck to the line? I
think it would be wise for Matthew to stick behind for now. Just save up ERS. I mean, he has the slipstream in ERS, so it's not like he's going to fall back. And if he just lets Louis break the air apart, and Matthew just kind of sticks behind him, has lots of ERS at the end, and then just pushes for the last 2 laps and gets past him, then it would be a way of securing a win, really.
Yeah, you are correct, but could you just do me a favour? I know Matthew's got a 5-second penalty, and I know I usually don't say look at penalties, because I think he is going to actually have that looked at, because it could have been a glitched penalty. But could you see how many warnings he's had? Just don't tell me the penalty, just tell me how many warnings he's had. Like, just in case.
1 warning, and then the 5-second time penalty.
Right, okay.
So, doesn't
it's just in
look
case
like
he
it
in
was
case he
deserved.
needs it for investigation, because we've had that before. It happened in Singapore where one driver had a, I believe, 10-second penalty which needed to be removed.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
screenshot that now as well.
Yeah, that'll be handy, as Sterling's actually going to go on the soft tyre for the fastest lap. So Sterling wants the fastest lap. Venom is on Cameron Young. So Cameron's actually finally got ahead of him for 7th place. Oh, yellow's in sector 2. That's Cameron. Cameron's crashed. Cameron has done it. He's bottle in 9th place, and he has crashed yet again into Castle. As somebody he just could have turned around there, but decided not to. And he got major wing damage, and he will possibly go for the fastest lap as well as damage limitation. So not is in 10th place.
Matthew's actually close up quite a bit to Louis. It looks like their ERS is a bit more similar. Louis with about 35, and Matthew's got about 25 more than him, I think. So, I mean, the gap between their ERS is getting smaller, I think, gradually. So maybe Louis is saving now, and that's why Matthew's caught back up. Actually, a big mistake from Louis.
Both got big wing damage. The championship rivals have crashed. The championship rivals have clashed. Louis made an error there. Matthew had nowhere to go. And will they peel into the pits for softs? Will this make Jay win this race? Jay's only 5.5 seconds. Will they pit? Because this is possibly big damage to their cars. If Louis pits, Matthew may pit as well. Looks like Louis may be coming into the pits. And it looks like he is. Louis in. Oh no, Louis not in. Louis staying out. He tried to dummy Matthew, and Matthew's got past. Oh, Louis going for a launch. Is it going to be contact? No! Oh, so close. It's lap 23 out of 26. If Jay wants to win this race and he wants to feel hungry, he only needs a few more tenths to beat Matthew, unless the penalty does get removed. 4.9 seconds now, so he's almost in that range.
It looks like from the incident they have equal wing damage. I don't really think it's anyone's fault, just Louis lost the back end and Matthew had nowhere else to go and hit him. So,
yeah, I'm trying to agree with you there. It was just Louis locking up, and I think just didn't realise how quickly that corner was coming to him, and lost a bit of lack of concentration. That's all it needs, and then one little error, and then boom. And right now, Jay 4.3. We've still got 3 laps to go. Jay is playing right now. Oh, Louis out!
Oh!
The championship rival is out. Matthew is going to get 25 points more than Louis. Louis has made a big mistake, and this is going to be a double Red Bull podium.
Alright, it looked like he was struggling after the wing damage, and obviously the castle section came around.
Will Matthew pit now? Because in theory, he's still going to gain more points than Louis, and basically try and go for fastest lap and let the Red Bulls get the 1-2, or will he just stay out and risk crashing with that wing damage?
It's an interesting concept. I mean, obviously his championship rival's out. He's got a lead.
Matthew, Sterling just set the new fastest lap. 1:39.9. It's going right now.
Actually, though,
that much time.
he crashed out on lap 23. Would that be in line with 90%?
It may be. So he actually may get a point.
I'll check that now.
Yeah, if you can check that, if you can do the maths, I don't know how to do that 90% thing, so it's all yours. But right now, James not really gaining any time now, so those mediums are probably all now starting to fall off. But currently, Red Bulls will get 2nd and 3rd. Brandon will be happy with 4th. Louis will be furious.
Oh, yeah, it's not. It's 2% not enough.
Oh, he's just missed out on the 90% rule. So Louis will be getting 0 points in today's race. So if where Matthew's going, he's going to get 25 points extra, but Jay has just gained 4.8. So if the 5-second time penalty does stay, Jay could win this race. But if it gets removed, if Matthew appeals and it was, it shouldn't have been a 5-second and he didn't really exceed track limits, then only time we'll have to tell, as we will let you know on that information for next week. Right now, though, but the gap is 4.6 seconds. There's only 2 laps remaining of today's races. There is another battle further down the track right now. Venom and Diego. So Alpha actually, the thing is, it's not a mistake for Louis in the championship. It's actually a mistake for Alfa Romeo in the championship because Sondre is going to get, I believe, 6 points.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
right.
29 points altogether, and Diego's only going to get 8.
By the way,
it's 21
Sterling and
points
Cameron
advantage.
both in the pits. Going for
Interesting, so they're
fastest
going
lap.
for another fastest lap. Well, they've already been lapped down. So in theory, Renault are only going to gain 21 more points ahead of the Alphas. And thank you for that info. So if Diego wants to try and eliminate that as much as he can, he needs to get past Venom as quick as possible. Rafa is in the pits. He can afford to do that because Brandon is only now starting to come on the back straight. So Red Bull could ruin Cameron Young and Sterling's day. Could we see a bottle though from the championship points leader?
Oh yeah, no, I was just trying to make sense of how the Red Bulls could mess up Cameron and Sterling, but yeah, with lapping, that makes sense.
Matthew though is on the penultimate lap, coming up into Castle, getting really close to the wall. This is very crucial. Don't get me wrong, I have crashed in Castle. I did it last season in F2 qualifying, got 10th. I believe I finished in 3rd, which wasn't the best race. I didn't enjoy that track, and I still don't. As Paco didn't enjoy it either. After, I've got to say, Paco, I've got to bring up a tragic memory for you. You did crash out in that race, but you got to say though, Castle is not the best part of the track. There's one little error can make it end your dreams of winning the race. It's currently right now though, Matthew Alder is coming to start his final lap of today's race. Will be a bit
and if it finishes like this, if the penalty's not removed, Jay will win for now. Because he is within 5 seconds, and it is a 5-second time penalty.
As Paco is saying, there is a battle possibly on Diego and Brian, and there actually isn't a battle actually, that's just intervals times. Paco. That isn't a battle right now, they're 16 seconds apart from each other. We'll stay on board with our championship points leader to the end of the race as he's coming on in the car as clean as he can. Currently now though, don't count out Rafa for the fastest lap. Currently the fastest lap is a 139.9. Oh yes he did, I do apologise, I just caught that. Diego actually got ahead of Venom there. So Venom must have made an error. I do apologise if I did miss that on stream. As right now though, Matthew approaching through Castle for the last time today's race, and last time this season.
Coming through the final part of the track, passes where Louis pinned it, which eventually ended his race. He doesn't make the mistake there.
We've got, I don't know if that's my eyes, but that just went up to 26 viewers, apparently. So here comes Matthew Alder. I don't know if that was a glitch there, but here comes Matthew Alder around the back straight to win 42. I don't know where these numbers are coming from, but right now Matthew Alder is going to win. Baku takes pole. Good job from Matthew Alder there. Wins today. Gets 25 points ahead, as Jay did get a penalty, so Matthew will stay first even if the 5 second doesn't get removed. So 25 points ahead of Louis. Jay takes second. Will Rafa take the fastest lap? Currently the fastest lap is a 139.8. Will Rafa do it? Only time will tell. Yes, a 138.7. So the Red Bull get the fastest lap and second and third there. As apparently, Kevin, we've got 66 people tuning into the stream. That's right now. Brandon is coming up to the line.
Oh, yeah, we actually do.
Now we have 73.
On my phone, it's 73.
As Brandon is coming up. I don't know if these people are adding bots in here. But right now, though, Brandon takes P4. Diego will take, at this point, in 5th for the Alfa Romeo team, but will be a bit happier that he's managed to get 5th after a poor quali. And salvage some points for the Alpha team. So 10 points for Diego. Venom will take 6th after a good race on his debut. And Sondre, he's going to take... No, I've got 81. The sick old Sorhaug is going to take P7.
Yeah, apparently there's 81 watching.
And yeah, I don't know who's added the bots. I have a strong suspicion who has added the bots actually. Now, I do have a very strong suspicion. I bet it's Paco. Paco removed from all the chats. Gone. But enough of that. Your top step on the podium is Matthew Alder. Takes the win. I believe he won last week as well. So now he takes 2 wins in a row. Almost 100 viewers. Bots, of course. The Red Bulls, though, second and third. I believe it's the first time we've seen the Red Bull team second or third, I think, since from the United States Grand Prix. As now we've got 101. Okay, yeah, you can just tell these are bots. Well, there we have it. There's been your Baku Grand Prix, as I will go down the grid order. It isn't my eyes deceive me, is it?
No, that says 107. For me, at least.
Well then, Matthew Alder takes pole position and wins. Jay in second. Rafa third with the fast lap with 138.7. Brandon Glover is in fourth. Diego in fifth. Venom in sixth. Sondre is in seventh. Sterling in eighth. Cameron Young in ninth. And the DNS for today, the top 16 is Louis, Lee Kelly, Aaron Collingwood, Lewis Curtis, and Nino Romanello, and Zenki and Tom. They are your DNFs for today. I just ignore the view count, what's going up, because some silly person has had added bots, and I know who it is. Thank you guys for watching this race. We will get the interviews done very soon, if they want to join, of course. It's up to them. So I'm going to invite them now. If you could suggest them actually there for me, Kevin. It would be a lot quicker for me. Invite Matthew, Rafa and Brandon, because Jay doesn't have a mic. If that's possible now.
Yeah.
Extend the live stream. Paco, what have you done? You've broken the stream already.
That's ILRT, isn't it? Rafa?
Yeah, ILRT, Rafa, yeah.
And...
Brandon, yeah. I can't, for some reason this PSN doesn't know who Brandon is, even though I typed his PSN name correctly and he apparently didn't exist. Could be true.
There you go.
No, could be talking a bot. Thank you very much. So today's interviewers will be Matthew Alder, Rafa and Bran, the man Glover. I was going to say something else, but I'll probably get told off, so I'm not. Well, Paco, what have you done?
Yeah, mine says 135 now.
Yeah, mine says that as well. It's I actually know who actually has done it, and he's going to get a word at the end. There's Bran the man Glover.
Why have you invited me?
Because Jay doesn't have a mic, and you got fourth. I will interview you in a minute. Is Matthew joining, or... Oh, right, okay. Well then, we might as well start with you actually. Is your mic on always allowed to share, I have to ask?
Yeah, it always is, yeah.
I've got to say that wow, you added 127 bots to the chat, but okay.
What?
It don't matter, I'll tell you that. Anyway,
and the bots are actually going down as well.
Yeah, so the person who's done it's probably left. Well then, Bran, it has been Baku. You didn't do your famous bottle of last season, however, though you did make a similar mistake in qualifying in the pits. How do you think your today's race has gone for you?
Oh yeah, that's not so about qualifying, but the race, yeah, obviously it started 16th, finished 5th, so it's got to be good. But yeah, there was an absolute car park on lap 1, which gave me damage, yellow damage, and then I was still at decent pace with that yellow damage, and then I think the new, what's his name, the Toro Rosso, the new guy, Zenkwi, he crashed the castle, retired on track, and then his AI car pulled out right in front of me and took my wing off.
Yeah, that will be investigated, so...
Yeah, I had to pit then. But yeah, my hard pace was good. And then I overtook Sondre, and then didn't see a car to the end of the race. It was a lonely race, really, so yeah, P4 was good.
Oh yeah, P4 is a good start with the Mercs. You are trying to catch up with the Haas team, I believe, who are ahead of you in the Constructors. Do you see, with Nino making a few errors and retiring, could you, near the end of the season, catch that scheme, or do you think you're going to stay in the position you're in right now?
I don't know really. Let me have a look at the standings. So we're a bit like 40 odd points behind. It's only 4 races to go though, you know. Obviously me and Nino aren't the quickest of guys. I think Red Bull are actually the closest team to us.
Yeah, they actually are. Actually, Red Bull are the closest, as Rafa has joined, so we'll get on board.
Yeah, so I don't think me and Nino will be getting the massive points, but yeah, you know, you can always hope. Mathematically, it's possible. So don't see what.
Oh, it's good to have some hope in your voice, mate. Well, next week, I believe, is Russia. 1st February. How do you think you're going to do there?
Well, Russia's a good track for me historically in other games, other leagues, whatever. So yeah, obviously the aliens like Matthew, Louis, Rafa, etc. are going to be quicker than me, but I'll do my best.
Are you expecting any wet weather in that race? Because we do know you're very good in the wet.
Well, yeah, I'd like wet, definitely, yeah. Wet would be good for me.
Well then, let's pray for you that there is a wet race and see if you can win a race and hopefully we see a top set of the podium. Cheers for this little interview, Bran. Now I'm going to go over to Rafa. Just got to make sure, Rafa, you've got your mic on always loud.
Yeah, I should have it allowed.
Alright, well, Kevin, if you want to interview him dead quick, good man.
You were up there, pretty much. All race you were in the running, just a little bit off though. Obviously a podium is quite nice, I'd say, for you and the Red Bull team overall, double podium. How was your race for your perspective?
Yeah, I think pace was alright. I was probably lacking a bit of pace compared to Jay, Lewis and Matthew. But I got a little bit unlucky, like turn 2, the incident. I already lost like 3 seconds because of that, so I lost DRS to the guys in front. Yeah, and then I double stacked in the pit lane as well with Jay, which lost me like another 4 seconds, so I was already like 7 seconds behind just because of these 2 things. Yeah, but I mean, I guess still P3 is decent, fastest lap as well, so good points overall.
Yeah, and for the Red Bull team as well, getting a 2nd and 3rd with fastest lap. It's a good haul of points. I'm not sure what that means for the constructors, but you gotta be happy with that as well.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to get some good points for the team.
Yeah, next race is around Russia, so how do you think you'll do around there?
Pretty poor, probably. It's one of my least favorite tracks, and I'm like not really fast on the track either, so yeah, it's probably gonna be a tough one, but I'm just gonna try my best as always. See how it goes.
Yeah, congratulations on your podium finish today, and good luck for next week.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rafa, for comms interview. As I don't... Oh, Matthew actually is here without me even knowing. That's even bad. Well then, Matthew, I think you've got to be a bit happy today that your championship rival crashed out in Castle, but before we get anywhere near that, how was your race from your point of view?
It was good. I didn't make many mistakes other than my 5-second stop go, my warning. I think the 5-second stop go should be a warning, really, but that doesn't matter now, so it's really fine. I got wing damage when Louis smacked the wall, if you didn't notice.
Yeah, we caught that. He made a little error there, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gotta say though, with Louis crashing out, you gained 25 points over him in today's race, and you did say you had that 5-second stop go penalty, and that 5-second stop go didn't really matter because Jay had a penalty as well, so you do still keep pole and win today's race. I've got to say though, if you can keep pulling this off, do you think with the way you go in, Louis now cracking under the pressure, and that you could win the championship this way?
Well, I definitely think that was he cracked under pressure in that race, because there was a key difference between PSGL where I finished second and he finished first in that. But then this was that I was actually behind him the entire race, and when I was behind him, he just crashed twice, at the downhill left. So, and then crashed the cars obviously, but I was past him at that point.
Oh yeah, you were very lucky to get away with no damage, like not hitting him, and I've got to say a very good, strong pace there, as you showed in France, and it's just two wins now in a row. Are you going to see Matthew Alder do another win streak or podium streak in a row like you did at the start of the season?
What track is it?
Next week is Russia.
I think I'll be happy with the top 3 in that, to be honest. If Rafa, Jay, and Louis race.
Okay then. Well then, I ain't got anything else to say. Have you got anything else to say, Kevin?
No, it's pretty much covered everything.
Yes, he just did steal my little question at the end, but you know, we'll let that slide as he did win today's race. Good result then, Matthew, for today, and good luck for Russia next week, and thank you for coming in for the interview.
No problem.
Well then, it's been Jared and Kevin doing comms today. It's been a very interesting race. I've got to say, Kevin, who are you going to vote for your driver of the day for today?
I'm not really sure. I haven't actually properly seen the finishing order. I think Bran had a pretty good race. Venom also had a pretty good race. So I'd say one of them two for my driver of the day. But again, I kind of need to look at it again.
Okay, I would go for Bran and Venom, but I've got to give it to someone who was very ill today. Was very sick, in my opinion. The Bottle Hog survived today's race at a few instances. I've got to give it to Bottle, just for today. We did a very good race. But if you want any more action-packed racing, you know where to join us for Saturday or Sunday for the league racing action. As tomorrow it will be Sunday for F2, F3, 4:30 UK time. We may have some more crashes and surprise race winners. But I've been your host, as main commentator is Jared, joined by Kevin.
Yep.
If you want to see more content of this channel, hit the subscribe button and like, and follow us on IRL. Twitter, I believe IRL_F1, I believe it's something like that. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.